Welcome to a new deep dive. Today, we're tackling a topic that frustrates so many of us, that incredibly stubborn belly fat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the kind, right? It just seems to resist all your best efforts, even when you feel like you're doing everything right, eating clean, staying hydrated, maybe even trying intermittent fasting.
Yeah, it's a common story.
So we're going to unpack why that last 10, 15 pounds, especially that soft kind of inflamed lower belly fat, can be so incredibly hard to budge. And we're drawing insights from some pretty interesting source material today.
What's truly interesting here, I think, is how often we chalk this up to, a simple lack of effort or willpower. Just try harder, right?
Right.
But the personal account we're diving into suggests something completely different, a root cause maybe at the cellular level, specifically with our mitochondria.
Okay.
So our mission today is to explore this perspective, understand the claims being made, and see what broader insights it might offer.
Yeah.
For understanding fat loss beyond the conventional wisdom.
And it's probably good to frame this, right?
Absolutely. It's important to frame this discussion because the core of our source is, well, it's a personal testimonial. And it does highlight a specific product.
Yeah.
Our goal here isn't to endorse that product, obviously, but to analyze the claims and the ideas presented within this material and see what general principles, if any, we can maybe extract about mitochondrial health and fat loss.
Okay, got it. So let's unpack this then. Many people facing this challenge, they often default to pretty extreme measures, don't they?
We do.
Trying to starve the fat off with harsh calorie restriction or, hitting high intensity cardio like 5 times a week, expecting those pounds to just melt away.
Yeah, pushing harder and harder.
But the personal account in our source material shares a kind of counterintuitive insight. It proposes that this stubborn fat isn't just about the simple calories in, calories out equation. It's presented as something deeper, a more fundamental issue.
And that really raises an important question, doesn't it? What if some common approaches are missing something fundamental, just like our source suggests?
Right.
According to this personal narrative, the truth about stubborn fat is that it's fundamentally a mitochondria problem.
A mitochondria problem.
The idea being, if your cells aren't producing enough clean, efficient energy, your overall metabolism can just slow down significantly.
Okay, so how does that show up?
Well, the author claims this cellular sluggishness can manifest as symptoms like brain fog, those dreaded afternoon energy crashes. And crucially, your body storing fat around your belly, almost like a defense mechanism or an energy reserve when cellular energy production is, well, compromised.
Interesting, a defense mechanism.
And what's particularly striking is the assertion that even high-intensity cardio, if you overdo it, can ironically spike cortisol.
Oh, right, cortisol.
Which the source suggests can actually make fat loss harder in some people. Now, cortisol certainly influences fat storage, that's well known, but it's a nuanced point. It kind of emphasizes the importance of balancing stress responses for metabolic health.
Okay, so here's where the personal journey in our source gets really interesting. It describes this pivotal moment of discovery. The author stumbles upon an article about mitochondrial slowdown. And this article apparently links it to a whole range of issues. Fatigue, slow metabolism, mood swings, and yes, that really stubborn belly fat.
So like a light bulb moment.
Exactly. This discovery pointed towards a cellular issue. So the individual in our source then went looking for solutions that specifically targeted this cellular problem.
Right. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the idea being proposed is a shift in focus away from just, cutting more calories or doing more exercise towards optimizing how your cells actually function.
Optimizing cellular function.
The core concept is that by supporting these tiny powerhouses inside our cells, the mitochondria, you might be able to address that underlying metabolic slowdown.
Okay.
Now, the source we're looking at specifically highlights one particular approach the individual explored, a plant-based mitochondrial support formula. It's called Milton in the source.
Milton, okay.
And this is presented as, a specific example of how one might try to support these cellular processes.
So what did this actually look like in practice for the person in the source? They decided to try this mitochondrial support for 30 days, right?
That's what the account says, yes. 30 days.
And the reported changes, as detailed in this personal account, were apparently pretty remarkable, unfolding day by day. The source claims that by, day 3.
Day 3.
Their energy was noticeably up. Waking up earlier, not feeling like a zombie. That's a big one.
That's right.
Then by day 7, cravings were reportedly lower. less thinking about food all the time.
Interesting. That ties into metabolic signaling, potentially.
Right. And then day 14, they claim to have dropped 3 pounds.
Okay.
And this was apparently without changing their existing workout routine, just walking and clean eating.
So no major overhaul there, according to the source.
Seems like it. By day 21, digestion improved and bloating basically disappeared. That's another common complaint.
Yeah. Gut health and metabolism are often linked.
And then by day 30, the final day of this initial period, the personal account states they were down just over 9 pounds and 2.5 inches off their waist.
Wow. Okay. It's quite specific.
Yeah. And beyond the numbers, they reported feeling sharper, more motivated, and more me was the quote.
Mary. It's interesting phrasing. It suggests a broader sense of well-being. Now, while these reported daily shifts are certainly compelling in the personal account, it's always important for listeners to remember that individual experiences can vary a lot.
Oh, for sure. Anecdotes are anecdotes.
Exactly. And anecdotal evidence like this needs to be viewed within that context. What stands out to me here is maybe the speed of some of these reported changes, which often prompts us to consider the complex interplay of factors when we're evaluating personal health outcomes. Now, to understand the potential mechanisms the source suggests are at play, it delves into what's in a formula like this, Milton. Each capsule was described in the source as feeling like, and this is a quote, giving my cells the tune-up they've been begging for.
Huh. A HUNA.
Yeah, highlighting the subjective experience reported.
So when the source talks about giving cells a tune-up, it sounds like these ingredients are targeting very specific cellular pathways. Can you elaborate a bit on how maybe some of these key components might contribute to that metabolic shift the source describes?
Absolutely. The source highlights a combination of ingredients, each with a proposed role in supporting mitochondrial function or metabolic health.
Okay.
For instance, it mentions berberine and resveratrol. They're noted for their potential in blood sugar and insulin support.
Right, I've heard of those.
Yeah, berberine, for example, is often studied for its ability to activate AMPK. That's an enzyme that plays a crucial role in cellular energy balance and metabolism. It essentially signals the cells to better utilize glucose.
Okay, makes sense.
Then there's PQQ, pyrroliquinolenquinone. That one's interesting because our source suggests it can help stimulate the growth of new mitochondria.
Oh, really? You can grow new ones.
That's the idea behind mitochondrial biogenesis, yeah. It's critical because more numerous and efficient mitochondria mean better cellular energy production, which, in theory, supports a more robust metabolism.
Gotcha. What else?
Then there's shilajit, described as an ancient adaptogen.
Adaptogen. Helps you adapt to stress.
Put broadly, yes. And adaptogen is believed to help the body adapt to various stressors and support systemic balance. In the context of energy, shilajit is thought to support energy and nutrient absorption, possibly by enhancing ATP production within the mitochondria.
ATP, the energy currency.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And finally, the source mentions CoQ10 plus L-carnitine.
Ah, CoQ10 is important for energy. I know that.
It is vital for the electron transport chain, which is the primary pathway for making cellular energy. And L-carnitine is crucial for transporting fatty acids into the mitochondria so they can actually be burned for fuel.
Like a delivery truck for fat.
Sort of, yeah. So this combination, as presented in the source, aims for a multifaceted approach, supporting the body's energy production and metabolic processes at that really fundamental cellular level.
Right. But it's important, you stressed this earlier, to note the clear caveat from the source itself.
Crucial caveat, yes.
This type of support isn't magic. It explicitly states you still need to eat clean and move your body.
Oh, absolutely.
It just reinforces that foundational health habits remain, well, absolutely crucial, non-negotiable.
Which raises an important question then. For whom is this approach most relevant, according to the source material itself?
Good question.
The source suggests it's particularly for those folks who feel they're doing everything right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're genuinely trying.
Maintaining a healthy diet, exercising regularly, but still find that belly fat just won't budge.
The plateau.
Exactly. It's presented as the kind of thing that could potentially tip the scale, literally, when other methods have kind of stalled out. And the mention of a 90-day guarantee in the source material also indicates a level of confidence in the product's claims, which, is a common feature in these direct-to-consumer health products. It invites people to try it risk-free.
Right. That makes sense from a marketing perspective. So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, the listener? This deep dive, based on the material we've explored today, suggests that perhaps the key to unlocking stubborn fat loss isn't always about more restriction or more intensity, but potentially about supporting your body's fundamental energy production system, your mitochondria.
Yeah, it's a different lens to look through.
It's a shift from simply trying to starve fat off to maybe nourishing your cells from within, a different angle on metabolic health altogether.
And this deep dive leaves us with a pretty powerful thought from the source material. Your body isn't broken. It's just waiting for the right signal.
The right signal.
This idea of sending the right signal is quite powerful, isn't it? It extends beyond just specific nutrient support, like the kind highlighted in our source, to broader lifestyle choices that genuinely support cellular health. Things like managing stress, sleep quality, nutrient timing.
Yeah, the whole picture.
Exactly. It invites us to consider metabolic flexibility and the intricate systems at play, rather than just focusing on symptoms or external fixes. So maybe consider what signals you might be sending to your body's cells and how shifting your focus to fundamental cellular health could potentially redefine your approach to overall well-being.